Picture Granada, a city at the foot of the Sierra Nevada where fountains whisper in hidden courtyards and tilework glimmers in the sun. This was the last Muslim kingdom in Spain, a final, brilliant flicker of a world that once stretched across Iberia. For over 2 centuries, Granada was the heart of the Nasrid dynasty, warriors, poets, and builders who defied the odds. Their story is one of breathtaking beauty and heartbreaking loss, a tale of survival as worlds collided. Granada's geography made it both a fortress and a crossroads, hemmed in by Christian kingdoms to the north and the Marinid Sultanate of Morocco to the south. The Nasrids navigated this treacherous landscape with skill, playing rivals against each other to survive. Their kingdom rose from the ashes of the fallen Almohad Caliphate, in a time of shifting allegiances and constant warfare. Into this chaos stepped Abu al-Waleed, ambitious, clever, and determined to build a lasting legacy. The Nasrid story is etched in the stone and tile of the Alhambra, a testament to their artistic genius and yearning for paradise on earth. Against all odds, they created a golden age of art, science, and poetry while surrounded by enemies. Even in precarious times, humanity can create things of enduring beauty. The Nasrids' legacy still resonates in the culture and soul of Andalusia. Abu al-Waleed Ismail I was the 5th Nasrid ruler of the Emirate of Granada in Al-Andalus. He ruled from 1314 to 1325 and was a significant figure in the history of the Nasrid dynasty. As soon as Abu al-Waleed took the throne, the King of Castile attacked the border areas and occupied the cities of the Kingdom of Granada. Abu al-Waleed was able to reconquer these areas and push the Christians back. Seeing that Abu al-Waleed was a strong and competent ruler, the Christians declared a crusade against him. Priests all over Europe promoted this crusade through sermons and speeches. Eventually, a large army of Christians gathered in Toledo to once and for all expel the Muslims from the Iberian Peninsula. Hearing about this large army, the Muslims of Granada were very worried. Abu al-Waleed asked for help from the Marinid Sultan of Morocco, Abu Sa'id, but no help came. The Christian army was many times larger than the army of the Muslims of Granada. Abu al-Waleed could only gather 5,500 soldiers. It consisted of 4,000 foot soldiers and 1,500 horsemen. The army of Granada was at a great disadvantage in terms of numbers, but trusting in Allah, they set forth for the battle. Abu al-Waleed gave 500 soldiers to Sheikh al-Ghazwa, one of his chiefs, and sent him ahead as a vanguard. Eventually they encountered the vanguard of the Christians, and a skirmish ensued, and the Christians were pushed back. In the meantime, Abu al-Waleed had hidden Abu al-Juyush, one of his commanders, in ambush with 1,000 horsemen. The vanguard of Sheikh al-Ghazwa was instructed to reach the main Christian army, engage them, and retreat. Abu al-Waleed himself took 300 horsemen and gave the rest of the army to another commander. As soon as Sheikh al-Ghazwa and his soldiers started retreating, the Christian army with great excitement and zeal chased the Muslims. As the Christian army advanced, Abu al-Juyush ambushed them with his 1,000 horsemen and fell upon them like lions. As soon as Abu al-Juyush attacked, Sheikh al-Ghazwa's men halted and attacked, joined by Abu al-Waleed and the rest of the army. The Christian army, disoriented and taken by surprise, began to disperse and run away. Abu al-Waleed defeated the Castilian forces in the Battle of the Vega of Granada, as it was known in 1319, where both regents of the young King Alfonso XI of Castile, Infante Pedro and Infante Juan, were killed. 7,000 Christian prisoners were taken during this battle, with their commander-in-chief killed, and his body hung from the gate of Granada. After this defeat, the Christians knew that it was not going to be easy to erase the Kingdom of Granada from Andalus. The Nasrid rulers mastered a delicate balancing act, paying tribute to Castile while playing Christian rivals against each other. Their alliance with the Marinid Sultans of Morocco was both a lifeline and a risk, as the Marinids had their own ambitions in Iberia. This constant tension between Castile and Morocco defined Nasrid foreign policy for generations. Internally, the sultans invested in agriculture, perfecting irrigation and turning Granada's plains into fertile gardens. Trade flourished. Granada's markets became famous for silks, ceramics, and metalwork. Economic strength was vital. It funded tribute, armies, and the Alhambra's construction. The Nasrids used art and architecture as political statements, projecting legitimacy and cultural superiority. The Alhambra's foundations were laid, transforming a fortress into a palace of unparalleled beauty. The sultans were patrons of poets, scholars, and architects, sparking a cultural renaissance. In a world where military might was limited, the Nasrids wielded culture as their greatest weapon. Their palaces became symbols of paradise on earth. Granada's golden age was built on this blend of diplomacy, economy, and art. Life in Nasrid, Granada was vibrant and cosmopolitan. The city's winding alleys led to bustling markets where merchants sold spices, silks, and metalwork. Granada attracted traders, scholars, and artisans from across the Islamic world and beyond. Society was structured but dynamic, with the Sultan and court at the top, followed by nobles, scholars, merchants, and a significant Jewish community. Homes hid beautiful courtyards with fountains and gardens reflecting a focus on privacy and tranquility. Water was everywhere, practical, symbolic, and aesthetic, echoing the Quranic vision of paradise. The Alhambra was the pinnacle, a city within a city with royal residences, baths, and mosques. Its intricate stucco, tilework, and calligraphy created an ethereal space, a lasting monument to Nasrid civilization. For Granada's elite, the Alhambra was both a seat of power and a vision of heaven on earth. In 1325, as Abu al-Waleed returned to Granada after conquering a fort, he was assassinated by his nephew. The killer was apprehended and killed, and the son of the Sultan was put on the throne by the name of Muhammad IV. He was the sixth Nasrid ruler of the Emirate of Granada, ruling from 1325 to 1333. He came to the throne at a young age and reigned during a time of internal unrest and external threats. Despite his short rule and young age, his reign had important consequences for the Nasrid dynasty. Muhammad IV sought alliances to protect Granada's independence. He formed a notable alliance with Abu al-Hasan Ali, the Marinid Sultan of Morocco. In 1333, with the help of the Marinids, Muhammad IV recaptured Gibraltar from the Castilians, an important strategic victory. This strengthened Muslim control over access to the Mediterranean and demonstrated Granada's ability to resist Christian advances. Despite the military success, Muhammad IV was assassinated shortly after the victory at Gibraltar in 1333, at the age of only 17 or 18. The sons and relatives of Abu al-Ula Uthman, a minister Muhammad IV had dismissed and put to death before for having too much power, were responsible for the assassination. After Sultan Muhammad IV, his brother Yusuf acceded to the throne. By the time Yusuf I came to power in 1333, Granada was secure enough to flourish. The groundwork was laid for a golden age of culture and learning. The Nasrids' resilience and adaptability ensured their legacy. The stage was set for Granada's most brilliant era. Yusuf I's reign marked the zenith of Nasrid civilization. A poet, scholar, and visionary, he inherited a stable, prosperous kingdom and channeled it into an explosion of art and learning. Yusuf completed the Alhambra's most iconic sections: the Palace of the Lions, the Justice Gate, and the Comares Tower. These masterpieces projected power and divine favor, overwhelming visitors with their beauty and complexity. Yusuf also founded the Madrasa of Granada, attracting scholars from across the Islamic world. For him, intellectual and military strength went hand in hand. His reign ended abruptly with his assassination in 1354, but his impact was lasting. Granada became celebrated for its beauty and intellectual vibrancy. The Nasrid era was the final magnificent flowering of Islamic civilization in Spain. It was a time of conflict, but also of cultural exchange and shared heritage. Yusuf's legacy, and that of the Nasrids, continues to shape Spain's identity today.